US President Joe Biden has addressed the nation from the Oval Office, offering the public their first chance to directly hear his rationale behind dropping out. This was Biden's first address since he announced his decision to withdraw from the presidential race. Biden outlined what pushed him to his decision after weeks of withstanding persistent pressure, saying he had to unite his party if democracy was to be defended.
I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title.
Biden stuck to his belief that his vision for the country merited a second term. But his speech reflected his awareness of the voices calling on him to stand down. The president acknowledged that there is a time and a place for long years of experience and a time and a place for new voices.
I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation.
Biden asserted that for the rest of his term, he'd be focused on doing his job as president. He ticked off a list of his administration's policy initiatives, knowing that this would be his chance to shape how history views his one and only term in office.
Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism.
Biden once again endorsed his Vice President Kamala Harris to become the Democratic Party's presidential nominee.
I would like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country.
Passing on the torch, Biden expressed his love and gratitude for the belief that Americans have shown in him. And with an eye on the presidential race, he backed the Democratic Party's bid, saying America is at an inflection point and has to choose between hope and hate, between unity and division.
We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that?
As Biden addressed the nation, dozens of people gathered in support in Lafayette Square in front of the White House. Now, supporters held signs and chanted, "Thank you, Joe," saying they are grateful for the president and his service to the country. More on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani sent us this report from New York.
After weeks of fighting for his political life, President Joe Biden delivered an Oval Office address, his first since dropping out of the presidential race. He talked about the need for new voices, younger voices in leadership, and also reflected on his perceived accomplishments, expressed gratitude, and praised Vice President Kamala Harris as being capable and tough. President Biden warned of a choice between preserving democracy and going backwards, basically the message of his own campaign until just a few days ago. He promised to defend his legacy, help Harris win, and as a lame duck president, focus on his job in these last few months. What he didn't mention was his health and what changed in a matter of days for him to abandon his campaign. Was it the low poll numbers, pressures from within his own party, or his health? Regardless, the speech marked a farewell of sorts, which he passed the torch to a new generation. And perhaps That's how President Biden hoped that his speech would be remembered. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.